goes on here. I need to see if it's showing.
Yeah, I mean, it's saying it's live.
Okay, so.
He could put this really on the table.
No, that's just gonna be going around the whole room the whole time.
Check one.
Getting
He
everybody.
said how it works.
You want it on the table? If he not like
Check 1, 2.
No, that's fine.
or
When is it gonna go around?
I didn't turn it
Check
on.
put some meat in it. This is flat
And I'm a
meat,
video with this.
like you had it yesterday. No, you gotta bring it up and bring some meat in. Put some meat in and bring it.
Now,
Now just please bring the meat. Check 1, 2. Check not that one. Okay. Check a little more. And bring that bottom, bring that baseball out. That heavy bottom. Check 1, 2. Check 1. Check 1, 2. Now that's something. What's the meat? It's always do the meat. Bring the meat up. Check 1, 2. Bring the meat up. Check. Bring the volume up a little bit. The volume on it. Check 1, 2. Is that? Check 1, 2. This. Check. Yeah, it ain't bringing out. Remember I told you as you checked yesterday. You gotta bring that. Check 1, 2. Now it's getting timid. Yeah, you probably need to do it. Check 1, 2. It ain't full. Check. Where you got the meat at? Where do you got the meat at? Now put it on a quarter out there or something. Just ease it up. Check 1, 2. It ain't the meat thing that's happening. Something is not happening. Check 1, 2. Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Once you turn it down, make sure you turn it on the right thing. Check 1, 2. Check. Whatever you're doing is not changing anything. Why you say, no, I can hear that. Please don't do that. Check 1, 2. What you just do? And guess what? Now I got that's right. No, man. Check. What? Listen, both of them.
Just asking a question. I was about to exit out, but I was trying not to walk in front of the.
You see, it's asking a question.
It was saying on the phone something about meals. You want to move the laptop closer, Terry? I think you should move the laptop closer. Are we even using this?
Mm-mm. How we gonna move it closer and all this stuff like that?
This moves. This moves.
We don't need it. It's so different.
If he corrected it, you already first yes him. Let him work through whatever he got to work through, and you stay out of it.
What thing?
Okay, I put it in there. Okay, how's this looking?
Oh, yours? If you want to invite people into the show.
I can't.
Both of them on Facebook and YouTube. And then
Yeah, it's up there. Terry, I got the phone. I got the phone on now.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh yeah! What we got here tonight, y'all? We call it the love offering. We bringing people in. We're gonna discuss issues. Issues. Lift us up. Move us forward. We got a special guest tonight. Special guest from East Haven, Ohio. President of Council, Juanita. Y'all. We're gonna speak issues. We got a lot of people, a lot of problems. We love each other. We gotta do it, man. We gotta show people that we can come together and do positive things. So we want you to come down the first and third Friday of every month. We're gonna be live on YouTube, Facebook. We got our band, the Love Offering, y'all. We got our engineers. We got Dem Dukes helping us and also doing positive things. Yeah. Oh yeah. Riding, talking about moonshine, spinning on, spinning on the headlines. Money, we make, but before we see it, you take. Oh, baby, on the highlight, when you do my ride, baby, on the highlight, when you do my ride, say, baby, you say, baby, and you say, baby, bring it on. Come on, listen, God, let's talk about solutions. Oh, yeah. I gotta switch gears. Yeah. All right, we position right. Can you see both of us, or do we need a little closer? You good? switch gears. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, Mike. How are you doing?
So. I'm good. I'm alive. A lot of us ain't alive.
I like your show.
Thank you very much. You know what? It's like, you ever sit around, some people sit around and watch the news and watch things and say, well, why didn't they ask them that? Or what's going on? If I was down there, so I said, let's create something where we can ask the question and answer, get the questions answered. So that's why we're doing this format here. You know all about it. I'm not ready to tell you, I'm just enlightening them, because you know what's happening. So how long was you born and raised in this country?
Well, I was not born and raised in East Cleveland, but when I was a young girl, we moved up here in East Cleveland. Was my home.
Oh, that's wonderful. I always looked at East Cleveland, even now, like it's just a diamond in the rough. It could be so much, like another Black Wall Street or something,
And
What do you think about that?
well, I really think that can happen. We got some smart people in East Cleveland. The ones that's not too smart are tearing our city down. But we do have some smart people in East Cleveland, and they want to do something about the city looking that way. And I'm one of them. That's why I ran for council. And when I ran for council, I ran for change.
Right.
So, when I've been out there on the battlefield with a few groups of people, that's hollering the same thing we hollering and seeing what we seeing. And I think a change is about to come real soon.
Yeah, I don't, it's like, first of all, I want to ask you, because your journey, me standing back watching you, your journey is, I remember you said something about running. Next thing I know, you're on city council, East Cleveland. And the next thing I know, you're the president. Can you tell me how you go from businesswoman to, I know you're still a businesswoman, I know you're still a writer, playwright and everything, but how did you get from there, me talking to you, to, and I'm sitting with the president?
Well, it took baby steps of when you see your city is going down and you're drowning, somebody had to start swimming. And so a lot of us took we had an opportunity of even go all the way down and just die, or we had the right to live. So that was my change of seeing our city, because I've been in East Cleveland for over 27 years. And when I came from Pennsylvania, we moved up here on Claiborne, and my sister, she was already up here with her husband. So we used to travel back and forth as a little girl. It didn't never look like that. So I decided to come back after I had my children, and I raised them in East Cleveland. And I decided to fight for us.
Yeah, I worked with the late great Fannie Lewis for many years. And I know she was a fighter like yourself. But there's always some pushback. Do you get any pushback by you being a female? How's that?
It's hard. It's hard because we have people that like handouts, and like in East Cleveland, if you're not giving them handouts, a lot of them, they will disrespect you. And I'm not giving them handouts. I'm giving them the straight truth, and I'm giving them straight talk of what's actually is going on in our city. And a lot of people don't like it because they're being deceived by so many other people that have their hands in the cookie jar. So how I came from being a councilwoman, a Ward 2, and then I was the vice president. So what we do is organize council anytime that's in our charter. When things is not going right, we organize council. So they made me vice president, and I had, it takes 3 votes to do that. So I had the 3 votes. And then, we was getting recalled because we was telling the truth and
Right.
speaking out and all
Changing the status quo.
standing up,
Right.
arguing with people, so at the time that we was getting recalled, we didn't have no clerks. So the clerks were fired, but we already had a president that didn't have a vision like we did to get a clerk in there right away, because those doors cannot be closed. It's like shutting down the city, So it never happened. So we reorganized council again, and they made me president.
So how, like anybody blind can see. I remember one time I was watching a game, it's a pick-me-up game, like a high school, mostly all-white high school. And they would come in, there was only 5 of them. And they would come and play basketball with these brothers. And these brothers can almost fly. They just, the way they play, it was like some of them could have been college NBA. But these 5 white guys, they didn't even have substitutes, would come in and beat these brothers all the time. So I mean, not being a big sports guy, I used to box a little bit, but I would never really play the football and stuff like some of the guys know about. But I asked my friend, I said, his name is Michael too, I said, how could those 5 guys come in here and beat these gazelles, 15 gazelles or 10 gazelles every time? He said, 5 guys, they love each other. I beat 15 guys that hate each other every time. The point, when they're going at each other, not listening to the coach, the reason I'm asking that, the people, your colleagues, the fighting and all that, I've been sitting in on some of your meetings, and it seems like it's much, to me, it's much better now. When you and, it seems like 3 or 4 of y'all is actually getting along. How is it now with your colleagues as far as like making some change and moving forward?
So you still gotta stay focused on the purpose. Why did you run for office? What purpose do you have to fulfill the things that need to be fulfilled in our city? So my purpose always stands for change. So in that purpose, it seemed like the more we came together, we was more divided because they so used to game. It seemed like East Cleveland is a game. They have their own game. The mayor have a game. So when I was a council person and I went along with him and with Martin and Ernest Smith at the time, I'm thinking that, maybe I can help them out, encourage them to do it this way. And since they did not want to do it the right way, they did it the wrong way, I backed off. So now we had to reorganize council because of change again. And change sometimes hurt because you're looking at these same people in here every day, going to council meetings, going to the agenda review, actually council people, what they stealing from the city, and I'm like, man, it's unbelievable. So I'm like, okay, once we reorganized council, we made Kareem Stevenson president at first, before I came president. We had Dr. Patricia, she's a councilwoman at large. We had to figure some things out because the seat was empty. Right. Ernest Smith's seat was empty, so we had to fill that seat. So, make a long story short is, when we filled the seat, Nathaniel Martin went and grabbed 2 people that wasn't qualified for the seat. So it divided us again, And these 2 people was like angry because we already told them the steps that we had to take. It take 3 people to put people in office, it take 3 people to put people out of office. So we did our job.
Right.
But they rebelled against. So when you rebelling against it and have the mayor encouraging you and have he paying people to come in to interrupt the meetings, it was chaos. So we had to reorganize to get Nathan Martin out because he was stealing, and we had to and then he got replaced by Quan Billings. So when he got replaced, they still want to come up regardless, and act like they
don't want to let it
council.
go.
So
Something like January 6th, they don't want to let it go.
they did not want to let their position go. They did not want to let their position go. So they was like acting like every time we go to council meetings, they come up and say and act like they council people. So we had got a lawyer, and the lawyer that we had got, he straightened it out. He straightened it out. Now they have to get their own lawyer because Willie Hemmings was conflicts of interest of having us be in a council, and she represented some council people that wasn't even council. So we had fired her. Well, the president, before I became president, had fired her. And she's still walking around thinking that she's the law director. And we got Heather, she hid a lot of things from us, and all these, she was prosecuting everybody that was innocent. Right. And they was putting these people in jail, so, we had to get rid of her. And we had just got news that the financial department, Charles, he had resigned. So yeah, it's a hot mess up in there, but the mess is getting ready to clean out.
It amazes me how sometimes, how like the position, our relationship in America, how we've been, always last on the totem pole. This discriminated against is always beat in the head. But it amazes me, like, a lot of our people get in office and do the same thing that, was the status quo. They do the same thing that we fought in March and rallied against. It's just amazing. I mean, see, like East Cleveland can only go up. It can only move up.
That's all I can say.
Everybody should be on board with that. What is some of your visions for East?
Well, I hired Eric Brew, the former mayor, my mayor, Eric Brew, as he's brilliant. As my clerk, and I had Justin Anderson, who is a fighter. Let's see what we were saying. He was my clerk. I hired a couple other people that, he's a police officer, Mansell Baker, you know him, so you know him very well. But I hired him as a clerk, kept him on, as a clerk, because he was the president clerk too. But it's a whole, council is as a whole. But I knew that we needed somebody in there that had a vision for our city and kept us out of physical emergency for 4 years. And to go back into physical emergency, it was shattered. So what we did was we organized in the office of council, and the deputy clerk that I hired was Justin Anderson, and I also hired Eric Brewer as the chief clerk of the council, the main clerk. So what he did a lot of research, and he's good at doing that.
I wouldn't want him on my trail.
And everybody was like,
I wouldn't want him on my trail.
He did a lot of research and found out that we've been trying to tell people all along that Brandon King did not live there in the house. He claimed that he lived in a house with his brothers, his mother, his wife that he just married. And the house is like, you think that
I saw it.
you saw it. You saw it. It had trash from the front yard all the way to the door. And then the backyard was caved in with grass and a bunch of junk. So he have a court hearing coming up on Wednesday.
So what is the court hearing about?
It's about the removal of him not being at the address that he said that he was at, and found out that he was not living there for a long time. We had actually got a statement from a person that stayed right across the street, you know, and I guess he got kind of scared because when King found out that he told, you know, so he wanted, you know, he made a statement, so we're gonna hold on to that statement, and also we're gonna hold on to the things that been said.
So let me ask you this. I know it might be hard to get the problem. I'm on the outside looking in. So is it any way possible that the mayor and everybody can just get along and like Donald Trump said about America, we know what he really means, and make these people great again? Is there any way everybody can just
Sound just like
I know.
sound just like Donald Trump. But yes, we can get along, but getting along that don't mean that you have to lie and take a lot of notes.
That's right.
Now getting along means tell the truth, be honest,
Be honest.
and do what you say you want to do. And that's how I get along. But when you start lying and deceiving the people and taking all this money and doing what you want to do and not following orders, not paying my clerks and not paying me, you know, as being a, you know, it's a lot going on, but God is so good. What's in the dark gonna come out in the light, and that's what's going on. So he shed the light on Brandon King. So he wasn't honest. So yes, I can get along with anybody. But you know what? We gotta be on one accord.
Hey, can we take a couple of 30 seconds or 60 seconds or something? I want to bring up the Dukes and talk about what they're going to do. We're going to talk about some of the business. We're just going to bring them out. I don't think they're not ready to speak up, but I just want to introduce them. Is that okay? Dem Dukes. Don't look like they moving toward the stage.
How are you?
Oh, man. LoveOffering. All right.
So tonight we got Mr. Water CEO himself, and he'll be doing an interview. Okay, and then we got Mr. Freedom Papers, and he'll be doing an interview as well tonight.
Well, Dem Dukes is all about love, man. So that's actually what we're just bringing, just to the, to the world. Actually, it's what the real love look like. Yeah, for sure.
What about business? What you think about black businesses?
It's a great thing.
And the lack of support.
You got to start. You got to start somewhere. You got to keep moving. It ain't gonna just be a great start right then and there. So just keep at it, keep pushing. It'll pay off. And put God first. It's not gonna work without God. So you put God first, everything will be all right.
Well, we're gonna talk to you guys in a minute, but I just want them to see what we're working on.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, just to give you guys a little background. My name is Michael Appleton. Used to be Michael Nelson, but I changed it. People ask me why. And I gotta tell the truth. It's like, if anybody don't know, we are the only humans on earth that's named like pets, like a dog. I'm not trying to tell nobody else. They might like Nelson and them European names and stuff. Not me. I'm Michael I didn't know where I'm from in Africa, so I like the name. I like the whole continent, so I just picked Africa. But what I really want to stress and emphasize, we have to support our, black businesses. And people think, they try to make like something is wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Anybody want to ride up to Little Italy and see who's up there and support each other? Chinatown? Well, we can't have Little Africa and support each other. And me and the guy was talking the other day, he was talking about revolution and change and what they want. So you don't want revolution, you don't want change, you don't want to be free. I said, think about this here. This is a simple question. Too many of us want white stuff instead of black freedom. When I say white stuff, I know people actually would not carry a purse unless a Gucci, somebody's name on it other than themselves. So I just want to put that out there. And other things, I got a petition. Y'all might think I'm nuts, but I got a petition on. I actually filed with the Interior Department. People say, what is it? I'm trying to get black folks put on the endangered species list. I had it up. It's been up 3 years. Guess what? I got about 50 signatures. If somebody wanted, when someone in the stars, something coming out, they got 5 million signatures. I'm just saying. And guess what I do? Every time another black person gets gunned down by a cop, you understand? Or every time another black gentleman killed, or robbed, like I'm doing a rework on a song by Jimi Hendrix. Hey Joe, where you go with that gun with your hand? Mine is Pete and Pookie. I'm like, hey Pete, hey Pookie. Pete is the racist cop. Pookie is that grandson you got living in the basement that come out there and rob and kill black people. Both of them is just as dangerous. So I'm gonna get back to this guy. He said, "What is he talking about?" we have to. We gotta see when you want change. You have to live it. It have to be in you. You just can't say it. You gotta live it. You gotta be it. You understand? And I'm telling you. Donald Trump said, they say it all the time, him and, Biden, everybody. Well, Biden don't really, but they do that. America first. See, I want the best product. So we gotta do like every other race on earth. We have to buy and shop outside our race when we can't find anything. You understand what I'm saying? That's not being racist in reverse. That's like looking out for our own. So let's get back to this guy.
Thank you.
And it ain't just about East Cleveland. This is a multi-talented female here, young lady. You understand that a lot of things going on in her life. And one of the things I want to talk about that's okay with her is her playwriting. Mm-hmm. She's a gifted playwright, and she got a play coming up in East Cleveland Library. I'm gonna let her tell her about it.
Yes, I've been a playwright for a long time. I had the vision of a play when I was younger. And when I went to school, we had to write a story. So when it was time to turn our assignment in, my teacher was like sitting up here shaking, like, she was going back and forth. And I had wrote a story about a pony. And the pony had to die because he broke his leg. And my uncle shot the pony and because he jumped over the fence, so he broke his leg. So she came to me and said, "Is this true?" And I said, "You told us to make a story." She said, "Girl, you had me going." I said, "What?" So she gave me a stereo. She said I was the best writer. So right then and there, you know, I let that go throughout the years, you know, it just didn't dawn on me. And for a long time, I have not wrote nothing, you know, but I had assignments in school and stuff like that, and the teachers and stuff was like, wow, what's going on here? You know, and I'm like, yeah, tell me to write. So, you know, I gave you my best shot. So when I gave them my best shot, they was like, you good, you know. So from there, you know, I went into nursing and I decided to be nurse because my mom was a nurse and at an early age, and she went into the homes and took care of people. And when I was younger, I went into the homes and I took care of people. And I was telling them a little story about different things that I, you know, was thinking of, and they were like, girl, you know, so it didn't still dawn on me. So one day I went to sleep and I had dreamed about this big old movie and plays and I remember it by heart, you know, so it was like I was just making up something. It was like the Lord said, you want to start writing. And I'm like, I did it when I was little, but I don't like writing. God said, yes, you're going to start writing and you're going to start producing plays. So I was like, it's taking a long time for this to happen. So when I started my first play, I did a skit right here. Jackie Goodrow, you remember her? Yeah, she had the Black History upstairs. So I did a skit and people were clapping. I was like, wow. And then I went and did another skit. And Love and Lust came about, you know, because I did politics upstairs. But Love and Lust came out with one of the plays that I already had wrote. So it really wasn't, and people started screaming and hollering. I was like, the Lord just said, well, you know what? Instead of putting it in the skit, make it longer. I want you to put it in a play. And I was like, okay. So it took a lot of thinking, a lot of just focusing on what God was saying to put in the play. So I did not write the play by myself. It was God that directed me. And so every time when I write something, I share it with my children. And they was like, oh my God, give me some more. They used to come with me, you get any more? You know, I'm like, y'all. So I start writing it. So, and as I finished Love or Lust, which is coming out soon, I took it to the library and they read it and they said they couldn't put it down. And they said, I want to support you. So I got 27 plays that I already have written. And more is still coming. Yeah, but I told God that's what it is. Well, God allowed this to happen for a reason. So I'm looking for this play to come out.
So we got an audition date coming up.
Yes, next week.
Next week, Saturday.
Saturday.
It's gonna be at East Midnight.
Yes.
What time?
3:30
3:30
to 5:30.
to 5:30. Yeah, but she said right here, our location here is we are the pastor, the apostle pastor Andrew Clark.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about Holy Trinity Church and Cultural
Yes.
Arts Center on Woodland Avenue, 7209 Woodland. We got this beautiful facility here, and we're doing some major things. And all of us, I mean, believe it or not, Pastor Clark is the leader, but you know, he got some beautiful sisters and all of them sing and act. And guess what? I'm hating because most of them doctors. You understand? No, I'm teasing, but yeah, he got a talented family, talented support system. And me and you was in a couple plays together. And that's how I know.
That was so funny.
I know.
I need a man.
Right.
And that was nice.
I know, that's beautiful place. So me, as I can tell her that me and you hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
We hooked up. We're not going to make no kids now, but we hooked up in the play. Oh, okay.
We ain't hooked up like that.
We didn't hook up.
We just hooked up
We
in the
just
play.
hooked up. We hooked up. I think, was you my wife in the play? No.
No.
Somewhere. But anyway, and it's so funny that Miss Juanita
Yeah.
and our other partner name is Miss Juanita.
Yes.
God in heart. Right. So we got a really good team. Miss Juanita, the other Juanita,
Yes.
she's doing some wonderful things. She got a gym on 185th, and she's on the
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore. It's
Yes.
between Lakeshore and
Euclid.
Euclid.
Yes.
And then
Off of Lakeshore.
off Lakeshore. And she's gonna kill me because I don't have the information, the address. But look out for that. Juanita Hawkins.
Yes, Juanita Hawkins.
You know, she's doing some great things. And I can't believe, I'm not gonna tell her, like people always talk about different things in the world with, relationships and stuff. But I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here or trying to kiss up to some woman. But you black women just amazes me. It's like y'all on some super stuff. You, there's another one, there's so many I can name. I got a friend of mine that's a lawyer, Renee, Rashad, and I can just name them. It's like it's always a black woman to step up. Like Harriet Tubman. We got a lot of you Harriet Tubmans running around here, and y'all Harriet Tubmans in different ways. Because when you see, like the brother got choked out on the subway,
Right.
you see she's one of our Spanish sisters. That spoke up, the congresswoman, she didn't like what the mayor, his response to.
Right.
There's so many things going on. But you guys need to stop and think about the way they're killing, wholesaling, killing black people. And they doing it so much, it don't even bother people. It's like, okay, you see what happened today? It's like it's everywhere. We're doing it to each other, you understand? And they're doing it to us. That's what I'm saying. In fact, we're working together on I got a book that's finished. It's not out, but it's called America Upside Down. And we're working together with Miss Juanita. We're going to bring this to the forefront. And it's like, I'll give you a little bit about it. It's a guy that's got PTSD. He's traumatized. He had these nightmares from racism in America, but being put down, and kicked out, and put upon. So a friend of his taught him how to turn his nightmares into dreams and turn other people's dreams into nightmares. I don't read it anymore. We got the soundtrack. We're working on it. We're going to start shooting very soon.
Yes.
We're waiting on this financing to come through the pipeline, and we're going to start shooting. We got the soundtrack and everything, so look out for that. And we're going to be talking about different issues. We're going to be talking about issues that people don't like to touch. We got to put it on the forefront and speak on that. And one other thing, as far as black businesses, we're going to talk about different. We working together. This is our first time out here on this podcast and doing what we're doing.
Yes.
But we're gonna talk about some black business every time. We're not gonna ask them to advertise with us. We're gonna advertise them and then hope they give us a love offering or something so we can keep this thing going.
Yes.
So anybody that want to send us a couple dollars, we're gonna have a we're gonna have a way that they can do that. So we can keep this work going and keep these conversations going. And like I said, we're going to do this first and third Friday of every month, And we're going to talk some more to this guy.
Okay. I'm looking forward to being here and I'm looking forward to sharing. So thank you for letting me come to your show.
In fact, she said that she's going to be a part of the show. That's how we're going to do this here thing. So we were so happy to have you here tonight. Is anything else you want to hit upon before we?
Well, I would like to tell everybody that, East Cleveland is going to come back. We know it looked like a storm today, but I see a rainbow at the end of every time. So you keep us up in prayer because I did run for mayor and I came in second place. So I'm running for mayor again. And hopefully, if the mayor get dismissed this time, because he don't live at the East Cleveland residence, that he have the address with, I will become the mayor.
Okay. So we appreciate you and see you in 2 weeks.
All right, thank you.
Hey, can we get that, a little something from the band and then, I know, are they still around and they try to man?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mr. Africa. Thank you.
We'll go get our jackets. But I need you to go through here and delete the blurry ones. I can't figure out, remember how to delete it. And my eyes hurt.
Oh, yeah, falling in love with Jesus. Oh, yeah, falling in love with Jesus. Oh, falling in love with Jesus. Oh, yeah. It's in his arms. I feel protected. Oh, yeah. In his arms. Never disconnected. Oh, yeah. In his arms. Yeah. Feel protected. Oh, there ain't no place. No place.
my guitar, but they ain't too. All right, we're gonna call our next guest up. It's always good to see a young man that's doing positive things. We got a young brother. Dem Dukes told me about it. They were talking about him. They told me he was a man. He was an entrepreneur. He was an artist. They told me all about it, but I'm letting him tell. Because I'm old school, so you gonna have to fill me in. Come on, man. The brother named David, but I like that name, Freedom Papers. He gonna explain us what that is. That's all that's about.
All right, Freedom.
I'm pretty good. It's wonderful to have you here tonight on our first coming out party,
Yes.
podcasting. We got a crew here, you know. We're gonna build this thing and make it something great. But them Dukes was telling me about you, man. They say you doing the clothing line and a lot of different things. So I'm gonna have to kind of let you kind of free flow and bring
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Yeah, let us know what's going on in your life, brother.
All right, so musically I go by Mr. Freedom Papers. My name initially, thank you, man, was Davey, but it has an accent over it called Chrome, and certain platforms don't allow me to use it. So I changed it to Mr. Freedom Papers, so it'd be easier to find. So Mr. Freedom Papers is my music company, as well as my clothing line, and as well as my movement as well. So it was quite natural. I just put the Mr. in front of it.
With the Freedom Paper thing, I know you probably can tell by my last name, Africa. I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
When they told me your name was Freedom Papers, I said, this is my kind of person.
Yes, let me talk.
So tell us.
For me, Freedom Papers simply was the opportunity to unlock individuals. And once an individual becomes unlocked, they become capable of anything.
Unlocking to that mind.
Unlocking the mind. I'll tell you why it's the mind. So, of course, Freedom Papers derives from slavery with our ancestors and whatnot. And what I would imagine is a person that's, had his worst day, her worst day, could have just gotten all the things of those natures that just happened that same moment when the overseer handed them their freedom papers. Instantly, life changed, right? Now, nothing changed physically because they technically still on the plantation. They still, the back still sore from the whooping, but instantly they feel capable to do anything. And that's the mindset. Nothing changed physically, but mentally they no longer feel bound. And that's what, if I could bottle that feeling of empowerment, that feeling of inspired, that feeling of encouragement, that's what I wanted to leave on this earth. So for me, my freedom papers personally, the reason this started was just from my job. I know a lot of people are working 9 to 5s that they don't necessarily love or very much not. I was one of those people, and rather than vent about it every night at happy hour with coworkers, I decided I want to do something. So that's when I came up with the slogan, Freedom Papers. I'm gonna get my freedom papers, and once I'm free, I'm in my purpose, I'm in my lane, I'm in my destiny, and I think the more we encourage people to do that, the less a lot of the evil things that taunt this world what happens. For instance, jealousy. If I got mine, if I'm doing my thing, I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, I'm not really worried about what you got, right? But there's so many people around here unfulfilled, unhappy, and haven't found their purpose, so they searching. And if you look like you got it, then I'm gonna take yours, but I ain't got time. That's okay, that's all right. I can keep talking while you roll. So, you know, the way I plan to leave my fingerprint by not only, you know, unlocking myself and creating all these things, but unlocking others. Once I became unlocked, I inspired a great amount of people. I'm still inspiring, and it spirals, right? It's like a branch, it branches out. So if I inspire you, you have a whole multitude of people that's connected to you, and it's connected to them, and that's ultimately how I think it will change.
Let me ask you this. It's like, I'm not trying to be stereotypical.
That's what
Most guys your age don't think. They had a place called the JFK House.
Okay.
And they was preaching, and we telling us we're not little Negroes and little N-words.
Mhm.
We was black. And then later on, when I was maybe 14 or 15, they moved farther down. After Saget Armstrong, Harley Jones was the prime minister of Africa, said it was like black nationalism. The Panther, you know, before you was born, but you know the history of it. It have to be. So I'm going to these things they call soul sessions every Sunday. And my mother didn't want me to go there, my father didn't want me to go there. It's like I'm listening to what Muhammad Ali talking about. And I'm listening to what the Nation of Islam talking about. But I'm also listening to, because I used to go to church with my father and everything. And it made sense. But it didn't make sense to a lot of black people. What made, and you know, I started going in with them drums, and they tell us that I'm learning. That's when I knew so much about it. You know, they wasn't teaching. But I knew so much about it because the soul section at that point.
Yeah.
And Shababa and Antar and Harley L. Jones, all that. So Omar, brother Omar, these soldiers, man. Like, you know what I do? And then we get back to you. People ask, and people say, you crazy. Man, I was at a meeting, and the man was on, they told all the veterans to stand up. They told all the veterans to stand up. And I stood up. And people go, you ain't no veteran, you know,
Yeah.
I said, I am. I was heavily commander in the Black Nationals. During the riots and everything, I was out there. I was influenced. That's when it's in me. I don't love black people. I'm in love with black people.
Yeah.
What made you want to go on this journey you're going on with this freedom papers?
You know what? So I'm very in tune with God and the Spirit, and ultimately we are all a sum of our experiences. And you know, as a young boy, I had a lot of experience, but when you're young, you're still trying to figure out, you know. So God had me on a very long journey that I didn't even know, right? So I grew up in church, all that stuff, like anybody else, you know, in that era. Religion was a big part of your household. You know, you knew what you was going to do come Sunday morning. But then, as you get older, and I encourage everyone to, and just take that personal journey with God versus just what you've been taught. Exactly, or a program. And when you take that personal walk or journey with Him, it's like, okay, you really want to know what's going on, and your mind begins to open, and your mind begins to expand as you remove the limitations of just what was given, and you start to hear and see things almost like a different language. And I would be lying if I said one day I was sitting, I said freedom papers. It's ultimately things and chapters of my life that have happened that have been strategically placed by God to lead me into this. And the more in tune you are, the better you hear it, right? And so, like I said, I was no different from my coworkers, right? I mean, we all would go out after work and complain, but it's something in me that, you know, I think God carefully picks His messengers, you know, and oftentimes messengers are people that have a great story or great journey to tell with a lot of tribulation, you know, a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles. And for me as a younger kid, that was my question, like, man, why is always struggle. Why is almost so much adversity? And that was just like the common denominator from my past. And it wasn't necessarily like family issues or trauma, but for me, I was very driven.
Right.
So what I desired most, I struggled most to obtain. But while on that journey to obtain it, I didn't know it, but I was becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And it ultimately prepared me for who I am and what I am doing today. And now I say, man, God, you one of the coolest chess players I know. Like, you know,
Right into position.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that in my lifetime, because like I said, when I was a kid, my mother, she wanted us to have a good education, so she sent us to Catholic school. And so we got that. And back then, you had to be a Catholic in order to go to school. But we was already Baptist. My father used to take us to the Reverend C.T. Nelson, I think, on 105 Greater Friendship Baptist Church. It was on 105, now it's on Ashbury. So I'm getting the Baptist, I'm getting this Catholic, and then my best friend was in the nation, I'm getting that. I'm, joined the Black Nationals, and I'm getting that. So people, and maybe it's about 12 years ago, somebody asked me, we were having a conversation, you change your name, man, but you be up there singing in church talking about Jesus. And I told him, I said, you gotta make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about Jesus, to me, I saw Jesus work for my mother when that man come and turn the lights out. And she dropped to the knees and prayed.
Mm-hmm.
I can go for my mother, I can go back, I can go forward.
That's
And I'm
true.
telling you this here, man. I didn't see, but I know the history of Black Moses with Harry Tubman, bringing hundreds of people.
Exactly.
And she believed in Jesus. So you know what I tell people? If Jesus was good enough for Moses, Black Moses, Harry good enough for my mother, and so many other people, he's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I just gave that person the benefit of the doubt and answered the question. But I get offended when somebody asks me about my personal relationship with God.
Yeah.
See, to me, I don't know how nobody else do it. We in the church with people that know about Jesus, with the Clark sisters. You understand? Cleveland Clark sisters. You understand? But the point I'm making is, listen, man, it's like you may drive a Porsche, I may drive a Chevy. We both trying to drive to Atlanta. See, that the vehicle to me, to heaven or something better, I love the Black church, man. I can't take that out of it. Guess what? I'm in love with Black people. I'm for the cause, I'm down with it, but I'm going to church. So anybody, excuse me if I'm offended anybody. But, so.
And generation is played stronger, like in the 70s and 80s, it served as a foundation. And for a lot of people that it was bred into you, I think early on it gave you a sense of conscience, right? Or as they would say religiously, like you could hear the Holy Spirit, right? And I think as we've evolved as a people, I think people are kind of moving more away from the religious traditional way, and people are either just freestyling or people are just being open to all information. People are exploring. Back then, there wasn't no such thing as exploring. You couldn't even get the conversation. I don't want to hear it. Right now, people are willing to listen and hear the other side, hear different versions, hear different stories. But one thing I will say is that, having that voice or that conscience, or what people would say is the spirit, I think a lot of people, we lack that now. And I think when you look at some of the things that are going on today, it's like, man, how can anybody with a conscience do something like that? Like, it's like nobody has that little voice in their head no more saying, don't do that. Don't do that. It's like more and more people are snapping, stresses at all time high. Like things are just kind of in a funky space. And you have more and more people, for our parents in that generation before, it doesn't work as much now. So what I said, and this is part of my whole Freedom Papers thing, and of course, you look at what's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, like you see, it seems like black people are becoming extinct.
Right.
And you sit and you wonder.
We fair game.
Yeah. So you sit and you wonder, okay, man, we've been going to church and doing that. But is it really changing, right? Is the condition of the way we are treated outside in America, is it getting better, right? And a lot of times when you said, rather than value black freedom, we chase white stuff, right? And I was thinking, and this is my Freedom Paper stuff, because I'm definitely pro-black. I'm pro-human, pro-love, but definitely pro-black because I think it's necessary. I feel like everybody has a strong understanding of who they are and where they come from, aside from us.
It's okay for him to be pro-Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a problem, we pro-black.
Yeah, so I thought about it, right? Like you think about church, how we go every Sunday religiously, and everybody comes in there, and we already know the school system is failing us, right? A lot of us as parents rely on school system to supply our black history. You're fortunate if you have parents at home that read books and dig deep into black history. Otherwise, but what if those every Sunday, like you got all that many black people in one building at one time, all over the city. I mean, if you just go down Lee Road, it's dang near 25 churches on every corner, right? But if we all made a commitment to educate, and at that time, let's educate each other so we all know who we are, where we're from, know our history. Once I think we figure out our identity, I think we will begin to walk, talk, and think differently out in the world.
See, my experience is, and I have conversations even today, because see, I'm not into religion, I'm into God. It's just like, if I'm going, like I said, taking a trip, I might take a plane, a train, whatever. Let's say if I'm driving, my vehicle of choice might be different from yours.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is me looking and singing in different churches and visiting different churches, it almost get like a us versus you mentality. And they be, they be.
That's why it's so many churches.
Right.
Everybody, well, I don't agree with you. I'm gonna just start.
Right.
And we ain't solving the problem as a whole.
Right. And then, like you said earlier, see back then, and even Martin Luther King and all them, they was like, what you call it, a reverend and all that, but he issues.
Yeah.
He didn't care if he was a black.
Yeah.
We just got to keep in mind. We got to, like people ask me, I say, I don't ask God to fight my battles. I ask him to give me the strength to fight it myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like David in the Bible, he with the rock. Whatever. So we got to do a lot. And I would like to have you come in the future and talk with us, especially because there's so many things that, I wanted to ask you, and I ain't trying to be funny. I'm asking you because you're age, not because, because you know and you communicate. Why so many of our young black men? It's almost like I seen it. I just got my little daughter. I got an 8-year-old adopted, and she just got a little kid. The lady down on 105 had a cat, and the cat came home pregnant. They don't know who the father is. Just said the litter, and the litter just going everywhere. That's how we do black children now. Almost. It's like. Why? And it's a couple of things. Not to say, just your age, your experience. You got to. It seems like even the successful black man, and this is going to be one of our subjects in the future. Why every time a black man, he could be a rapper, a movie star, a businessman, whatever. Why one of his biggest wishes on the top of his wish list is a white woman? It's like they just. I don't understand that. I think it's like. I know that might be, I'm not looking for you to be the expert on it, but I'm your take on it. Yeah. How in the world can you got a Chinese man? 95% of the Chinese men marry Chinese women. Right. Japanese, white people. Do you realize it had to be over 50% of successful black men won't even give the sister the time of day when
So I have a theory, and it goes back. It goes back to what I was saying about having a identity. When you don't have a clear identity of who you are, you don't operate in that manner or that factor. So, like how you say, I'm in love with black people. I say I'm pro-black. I love black. Well, there's the same people, black included. Like, man, I don't mess with black people. Like they always arguing. There's drama. Can't never work together. Da, da, da. But all of that stems from the multiple interruptions that have been, placed upon us, and ultimately they all just take us further and further away from who we are. So I'll give you an example, and not to mention they're trying to take some of the storyline out of history now, where they don't even want to. Slavery already wasn't telling the whole story, but now they want to take that out. So you know what I mean. So I say that to say, let's say you are in a village, right? You live amongst the people, but you don't know you're the king's son. So the king is up in the castle, living, everybody in the castle, right? You're his son, you're his bloodline, but you don't know it, right? So if you don't know it, you're in the village,
that's right.
living and acting and moving like everybody else, right? The moment you find out who you are, you act different, you talk different, you expect things different. Like sometimes we don't even expect greatness. We so used to accepting what's ever given to you. Exactly. So I think if we focus more on pouring into each other from birth, right? Because when we get to this age where we are, you have to want it. And that's hard sometimes. It's easier to teach an open sponge. So if we start at birth, stop relying on schools and taking these opportunities to make sure we know our identity, I think we would, as a people, start to change and transform to where we value black love. We see the beauty in blackness first and foremost. I think that's the biggest misconception, is how we view our skin as a default versus a chosen people.
I know we know black people something else. I tell young black guys, I say, man, why can't nobody outrun you? Can't nobody play ball better than you? It's like you the greatest, you the number one everything, but we last in everything. Yeah. What's up with that? Because I think, I use this little story about when they be talking about, the young people and what they be doing and hobbies and the carjacking. And I say, yeah, I understand. That's like Frankenstein, the movie. You remember the movie Frankenstein? Frankenstein. That's Frankenstein, the monster. And we have to stop him, put him in check. But we also have to go out to the doctor. Dr. Frankenstein, who created that. With the red line. Terry Mendon. You understand? And voter suppression and taking the jobs out of the community. And like they abandoned East Cleveland, you understand?
And I always say, when I'm on, I have an opportunity and I have a platform where I'm on a large scale and it's put out on these different. I'm gonna challenge people to look at things different, because everything is perspective, right? Glass half empty, glass half full. And so I think we're kind of trained and programmed to be like, man, we behind, we can't get it going, like we can't stick together, we can't, right? But I challenge you to look at it differently, right? Like, if I gave you a whole day to start down the street, right? And I say, all right, you start today, I'll start tomorrow. You already got advantage, right? A week You talk about black people as it relates to society and what's going on. I just said a day, a week, a month, right? Imagine a year. Imagine if I said, you start walking, I don't get to start walking till 366 days, right? But then imagine if I say, no, sit there and wait, I'm gonna give you a 400-year head start. A 400-year head start, right? 400, if me and you running a marathon and you got 400 years ahead of me, you don't expect to look back and see nobody black in your peripheral, right?
Can I tell you something? I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
Can I interject now?
Please do.
To me, you man, one person can beat Willie Bowe. So one person's boxing and can beat Willie. They say who? They say Willie Bowe. That means not training, acting food, doping up. Yeah. So the point I'm making is, we don't have to prove nothing to them now. See, just like when I tell you about white stuff or black freedom, they kill, you got civilian, you know this, man. Who would go kill a lion just to shoot, put his head on the wall? You know how they do it, kill the animals and just stick the head on the wall? The great lion, that's I believe in something. Did you see how that dude there, he was on George Floyd knee, got his knee on his thing. He was getting some kind of relief, man. And I think it's something they know we're so great. We're a great, you know, we're exceptional. Right, exceptional. Because you know, back in slavery, they used to lynch us, and even after they would cut our genitals out and put it in the jar. So the point I'm making is, if a brother ain't talking about, to me, financially, every time and I'm working on some stuff with them Dukes, we put a thing together. Listen, if a brother ain't talking about letting that stuff go, even if you do it temporarily until we get it, let that white stuff go and come together. If you ain't talking that, you ain't talking. And you can say, okay, let's march, let's go down, man. Okay, so but we're not stopping in what you call it. I was going to say random mall. Tell them, hey, they been go. We ain't talking. We're not stopping at Beach World. See, think of the bus boy cop, the boys cop in Montgomery. That worked, and they, you know, we such a mighty race, and they tried to say we was heathens and animals, and then you got some mixed godly brothers. You know, I've been there before. Like I tell people, I gotta use the word. I don't like that word, but I was born black. I became a nigga. I'm black again. You understand? We all gotta, you know, grow. But man, listen, we're so strong. Like especially that black woman, it's like, oh my God. She's so mighty, it don't even make sense, man. Always standing up. You know, I know any brother tell the truth. We would be nothing without black men. Nothing. Not us, the black men. You know, so we gotta, I'm not just saying that, you know, that's a fact, man. And you know, we go, I'm getting the signal, we're gonna go move. But I wanna ask you this, your music. What are you trying to tell the people with your music?
All right, let me get you. I gotta finish that good point though.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta finish that. Yeah, I gotta leave y'all with this, right? So
we want to hear
400 years, right? Visualize a week, a day, but imagine 400 years.
Yes.
You think that's pretty much a good enough cushion to where I'm running this race. It don't matter how many days I look back, how many years I look back. I shouldn't see you on my tail, right?
I like what you said.
So for us to, first off, just endure the time, right? Including the money that was accumulated over that. So how are we really, that you can really, right? How good do you expect to compete? You got a 400-year disadvantage.
But you know
like you got to have some type of ripple effect for that. So you have the trauma. You have the families broken. You have the fathers and the men. Right? But it was bigger. Like how are we billionaires today? And
the brothers coming out the project.
Yeah.
You know the white guy told me the only white guy I ever talked to, he said this, he was so honest. I said, man, why the hell? You know they do studies. racing, they don't never get to see, to do a study on, they probably did it, that's during the race. You want to put tax in our shit, whatever. That white man looked me in my eyes. He said, because if it was even and everything was up, your son will outdo my son. Yeah. And we can't let it be even. Yeah. And I wanted to say this, man, it ain't been, 10, 15 years ago, they said we couldn't be the quarterback. Right. Now every time you see a football game, it's the best. Right. So I know where we are. Anything where it's an even playing field, we end up dominating. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that music video. What time we got?
Yeah, we got 10 more minutes.
10 more. Okay, we conversation get going. Yeah, we're gonna oh, you mean 10 more minutes, period? Because we gotta, yeah, okay, we gotta get them Dukes on there. But we want to know a little bit about what you're doing musically and the clown and music. Yeah, musically, man, I art imitates life, so I write about all type of topics, experiences, be it mine or somebody else's. But I always make sure I keep an inspirational piece as well, because we're all on a journey, and throughout our journey, we will always need moments. So I always have one of those, but I write a lot, but I also write songs that are entertaining as well, you know. But the inspirational ones are near and dear to my heart because, like I said, my journey was tough. And there was a lot of movies, a lot of songs that kept me going. And those quiet hours when you're by yourself, that's when most people break, when they're by themselves. So we're gonna get you back in the future. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, without a time, man. Pleasure meeting you, man.
That's good.
All right, that's wonderful. We're gonna let the band hit something if they don't mind. Ronnie said he don't feel like playing, so. No, Duke, y'all wanna come on now? Y'all want the band to do something? I like that when the band get busy. I'm gonna steal that. Where did the time go? You're trying to tune my guitar. We're gonna bring out the very entrepreneurial spirit family, husband and wife team. I wish we had more time to talk about it, but we done ran out of time. Come on, let's get them Dukes up there. Let's get them Dukes up there. Yeah. So you got another mic right there right quick?
Yes, sir.
All right. Boy, we got how many minutes? Where did the time go? I know. Let's talk to us and tell us what you do. First of all, You guys are married, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I mean, that's a good thing. No, I'm happy because I was married 3 times. It didn't work for me. So I'm still looking. Dr. Watson said, don't give up. Let's get some names. Come on now.
So I'm Natalie Dukes. Yay! Oh, so I'm Natalie Dukes.
I'm William Dukes.
And I love that name, Dem Dukes. You know, they've been together so much, they're so long. Yeah, so what do you guys talk to me about your endeavors? What you try to do? What you try to make happen? Why are you in the underground on 72nd and River?
Okay, so we're trying to get this talk show on podcast off the ground and running.
Dukes be part, so
Yeah, sure.
That's right.
that's why she said we.
That's right.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
So we're trying to just get different people in here and just have fun with it and give some people somewhere to go on a Friday night and feel comfortable going there and give vendors, thank you to all the vendors that's here at the Spirit of Life, at Lakewood 626 and Official Fragrance LLC.
That's right.
I want to give all of them thank you.
You know the vendors know they are parties for life now.
Yes,
They got a free cash.
yes.
Rolling with it.
Oh, and don't forget the LoveOffering band up there.
All right. Great job.
Yes.
Can we get some names up there? Why you got a mic up there? What's y'all names up there? Any of you guys married or what y'all looking for? Why you got a lot of black men with fathers and stuff?
Hello, I'm Derek George. I play the keys.
Excellent people.
I'm Aaron Dozier, the Dozier on drums.
All right.
I'm Ryan Carter. Play keys also.
All right.
And I'm the humble bass player, Reynolds.
Hey, can I drum it? Listen, I'm not trying to sing to nobody out, whatever, but can that drummer explain to me? He told me, somebody told me he was a principal of some more stuff. I thought he was a gang member. Now I'm teasing, but I'm just saying. He's a young man that's doing positive things. Talk to us, Mike, quick, brother.
For me, David Stutz is the principal over at North Coast Academy. Hope North Coast Academy, 71st in Cleveland. K-8.
Okay, Dukes, talk to us.
Okay, so we own a catering company called
And soul food and catering. Yes, yes. And
What y'all think about that 81st Street Deli?
The chicken salad was very good.
yeah, for sure.
You got that reclaimer. Remember that section?
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot. This is our first rodeo, so we're gonna
Claiming just that September
September 23rd.
23rd.
Second and 23rd. Peter Lawson John.
Yes. It's something you don't want to miss.
Right.
You definitely want to try to be a part of it or come out to experience for sure.
So we're gonna get it together.
And much love to our church, our apostle,
That's
our
right.
first lady, here at Holy Trinity Church and Cultural Arts Center.
Can we give a shout out to them gemstones over there?
Okay.
Can somebody say something like that? Them gemstones. Is these diamonds or rocks?
All diamonds, all diamonds. My business partner and I am Stephanie. Excuse my voice, of course. I'm Stephanie. This is Terry. We're the Gemstones. And we have a clothing line, we have a catering, we have digital storytelling, cinematography, videography, and we are available to be booked if anyone's looking for it. Right now, we're doing half off photo shoots for prom and Mother's Day. So if anyone's interested in a quick photo shoot, 30 minutes, $100. Here we are.
All right, good.
So we got these black vendors on the move. Okay, Dukes, somebody told me y'all got a specialty, something y'all do, something. dish y'all do to, supposed to be going into 81st Street? Yeah.
Our family, well, DVD rolls, they're soul rolls. That's really, it's going good, it's going good.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's about working together, doing something powerful. You know, it don't matter because they in their 30s and I'm in the hundreds almost. But we're gonna make something happen. You know? Can I ask anybody from the Clark family with the bloodline want to say something right there? Not really?
Got a lot to say.
Dr. Watson?
So you want to give me a mic? You want to give me a microphone?
I just want to say this launching of the Love Offering Talk Show podcast, wonderful, Dr. Africa, and the guests that you were selected for the first show, wonderful. Everybody who's listening, when you come, I'm going to be on the next show, Dr. Watson. Yes. Show you let you know what we do. Amen. I'm a film writer, filmmaker, playwright, psychologist, minister, pastor, evangelism. We do what it do. Come on, visit us at 7209 Woodland Holy Trinity Church and go to Oxford. Give me the mic back.
Another black sister we gotta hate on, doing everything. Yeah, so I love you. I think we had a wonderful night. And, we're gonna keep it moving. What we have for time? Is our time?
And that's about the next one will be Friday, June 2nd. At the
Yes,
same time from 7 to 9. So we hope to see everybody here.
And more people.
yes.
That's right.
Yes. Tune in, we're on YouTube and,
Facebook Live.
yes.
Yes.
So, tune in.
Right.
Thank you.
There's a, can I make
Good job, everybody.